We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
What we do not do is spy unlawfully on Americans.
We are leaving in 2014, period. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse. In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive.
You are listening to Biting the Bullet with Luke and Typo.
Dope. Well, what's up, buddy?
Dude, my dog died. We've had this dog for a while, but the worst part is like, I don't know what I'm going to do with all this peanut butter.
You can't put it on your balls anymore.
Yeah, dude, I can't lick that off.
I'm not that bendy.
Not at all. Actually, I have like the worst flexibility.
Yeah, same here. You and I are both like some of the least flexible people I've ever known that also played like pretty decently well in sports. Like
I don't know if you had when you were in high school, did you have to take like a PE test?
Yeah, where you like reach the box and you touch your toes.
Okay. Yeah, the flexibility test.
Yeah, I never touched the box.
Well, it was supposed to go to
first,
zero.
like ring of the box, yeah.
And zero would be like your toes. And I would always get like -1 or -2.
Yeah, me too. I can't touch my toes to save my life.
I was fucking terrible, dude.
I can't touch my toes to save my life. And then my girlfriend's a former competitive cheerleader. And I'm like, well, can you help me stretch, please?
Yeah, dude. Help me out here. Dude.
Yeah, because I am fucking garbage at any form. You were doing yoga for a while too.
I still do yoga, dude. I just
do you?
Yeah, but I don't know. I do when my back hurts. When my back starts hurting. If I continually did it, I probably wouldn't have back pain, but I'm like, you know, get a little lazy. And then I start hurting in the back and I'm like, all right, better get some yoga in today.
You just like look up on YouTube like a 10-minute yoga class or what?
Pretty much, dude.
They tell you namaste at the end?
Sometimes I always try to pick a different one. I don't know why, but
do you say namaste back to them at the end?
No, I don't say YouTube? Namaste, but some of them do get a little like into the whole thing. Some of them are just like, yeah, we're doing some yoga, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And then some are like, today we're gonna think about the word free. Like, free your mind. I'm like, well, okay. Well, I'm just gonna do the yoga stretches.
They're like subliminally like trying to get you to do more yoga.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's
really today the word is watch more of my videos. The next time it's like today's word is like like this page as you're doing your stretching.
Dude, who do you think's going to the Super Bowl?
Bengals and Rams. I think the Niners are a fraud team that shouldn't be in the position that they were in, and they got by with, you know, a shitty Cowboys defense. Right? They beat the Cowboys. No, they beat the Packers. No, they beat Cowboys and the Packers.
Yeah, they beat the Cowboys first, then the Packers. So they're like the 7th or the 6th seed or something like that.
Yeah. So I think the Cowboys you know, just shit the bed. They honestly did. They couldn't figure out how to do anything. And their secondary looked rough. And they could not stop the run to save their lives. Or the little swing passes. And then I didn't watch the Green Bay game because honestly I assumed it was going to be a blowout. But then when I went back and like read everything about it, it seemed like there was some horrible special teams, which has always been one of Green Bay's like horrible problems. And it's been known that it's a horrible problem. And they hired somebody inside, you know, Matt LaFleur's like team to do special teams, and it hasn't worked out for the last like 3 seasons. And then also like you can't just throw Aaron Rodgers just can't throw the ball to Devontae Adams for all playoffs. So Randall Cobb, it sounded like, didn't step up at all. He had like 0 catches and 4 or 5 targets. So I bet you Aaron Rodgers is like, well, I'm not throwing that motherfucker. He's old and burnt out now. And I think the Packers really fucked themselves not drafting any position players for the last, besides Jordan Love, for the last 10, 12 years. And I honestly think Rodgers is going to be gone. I think he's going to be gone by the end of this year. But
the rumor is the Broncos right now.
I know. I think we just got their head coach. We just got their
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, we got their offensive coordinator as our head coach, is what I meant to say. So that's looking good for us. That's a good look. I mean, come to somewhere you're comfortable. And finally, the Broncos seem like they brought on like a decent head coach. I know he was an offensive coordinator, but he was in one of the best offenses this year for most of the year. They didn't do that well in the postseason, but I don't really think that was, I mean, it was probably kind of an offensive problem, but at the same time, I don't know. I think that was a special teams thing. They had that pick right before the half, and then
I was kind of
blocked.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. I just automatically, when I'm thinking like
I fucking
sports
love
mind,
Aaron Rodgers.
sports mind, I hate him just because I'm a Bears fan. So it's hard to fucking like the guy. But from like not a sports fan, like I guess more in like the cultural war perspective, I was really wanting Aaron Rodgers to fucking win because he's been like so outspoken. He's got like, I don't know why, but he's got like this major like fuck you attitude with everything. It's like journalist, the COVID shit.
I think that's why a lot of people didn't like him. And then he started doing Pat McAfee show and everybody was like, oh, this guy's pretty, like, he's not normal, because he's kind of turned into like a weird crystal guy. Like that's kind of what he reminds me of now.
Yeah, dude.
But he's more normal than
that level.
He's more normal than, most of the people you see. And he's not like talking about how many hookers he's, fucked up, or how him and his buddies shot a couple guys when they were 14. Well, they were selling crack at 12.
Whatever it is, like the longer form podcast versions, like you got to know like all season once a week. It was like you got to know Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's like never been cool. Really. I don't really know. Maybe it's been done before, like maybe like ESPN when they do like their documentaries or whatever.
Yeah, but you don't get to like listen to them.
Yeah,
like,
but when it's just conversation
on the fly.
Yeah, it's just long drawn out conversations. And I don't know. And Pat McAfee, which I was actually kind of surprised, but they would like go into like COVID questions about him. And he had what would be considered crazy views this year to like the mainstream.
Which aren't even
like,
crazy.
It's nothing crazy at all, but just because of the world we live in right now, everything talked about vaccine or the germ gets a little weird. But I don't know. I really liked him. He fucking, slaughtered the Bears twice and then, said he owned us. So I was like, all right, dude. Fuck
the
you.
shitty thing is he always loses to the Niners.
No, he's like 0-4 in the playoffs.
Yeah, he loses to the Niners in the playoffs, and it was the team that should have drafted him first round, first pick, back to when they took Alex Smith.
And they always play that video. You always see that video circle around when he's playing the Niners, and he's like,
well, and if you look back at it, it's like, who would you rather have, knowing now what you knew then? Yeah.
Like he was the best from that class for sure.
Oh, by far. And so it's just kind of like a weird thing. And then he loses to the Niners. And, if you look back at a couple of the games, it's just like, it's not his fault that they lost to the Niners most of the time. And there was people like trying to blame it on Aaron Rodgers for this one. And because they only scored once, and it's like, how are you the MVP? You need to score more than that in a playoff game. And I kind of understand that criticism. Like I get it. But when you can only throw it to one guy and then your run offense is your run game is non-existent all of a sudden in the playoffs when you're putting up 100-yard games multiple times throughout the regular season, it's like, what the fuck do you want him to do?
Yeah, it was just interesting how that played out. I did not think the 49ers.
Who do you think is going to fucking win? Well,
I
actually, one more
honestly-
thing. I knew the Cardinals were fucking frauds. I said it all year long. I said it all fucking year long. And then they lose what 6 of 7 in the last 7 games of the season, and then lose in the playoffs. Like, fuck the Cardinals, dude. They're garbage. Cliff Kingsbury doesn't know how to win at the end. They're a choke artist. Kyler Murray is a choke artist. Fuck all of them.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, they definitely went fucking downhill. It was weird because I mean I didn't really pay attention to them. Maybe their schedule got a lot harder at the end, maybe it was really easy in the beginning. I don't really know, but it was just pretty random how like they were like leading the NFL for a while. Weren't they like 10-1 at one point or something like that?
They were in front of the NFL.
Yeah. They were a hype train for sure. And they looked good whenever I saw them, like whatever. But yeah, they really fell off at the end of the year and they got slaughtered in playoffs. I really want the Rams to win the whole thing. I
You
think
want the Rams to win?
Yes.
You want them to win?
Yeah. Matthew Stafford. He deserves it. Baby.
Dude, that's the only reason why I want the Rams to win is because of Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
But at the same time, I don't think I put it on Twitter. I was like, I don't think any California team deserves to win a championship for the next 10 years at least. Like none of them deserve to fucking win. None whatsoever. They didn't let their fans in stands. They didn't fucking do anything.
That's true.
So they don't deserve.
Facts.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, fucking Ohio, it's fake anyways. Let's go Ohio. Like Bengals, they can win.
I'm kind of buying into the
cool
Joe
with-
Burrow hype, dude. I kind of like it.
Dude,
he's
Joe Burrow,
fucking badass.
Dude, he's just kind of like he's like that preppy kid that hung out with all the black kids, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what he seems like.
Yeah,
He's got a little bit, he got too much money, but they all loved coming over to his house. So all the black kids made friends with him. But then he
knows
smokes
how to
like
be cool.
cigars. Yeah. And then he
Like-
smokes like cigars and then in the locker room and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we just smoke weed, but I mean, cool. You can smoke the cigar, man. Like whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the kid. I thought he looked like a boss. His LSU when he won the championship there.
Yeah. When he walked out with his fucking
Oh
cigar,
yeah,
dude.
this
that shit was-
hype.
that
Dude,
was
they had like a
Bud Light
hype
as
video
fuck, dude.
for the guy.
I know.
And I was like, God, I hope this guy wins. And it was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, the confidence level on him is just, it's like awesome. I think he got questioned by the media or something. Like, how do you feel about being the underdogs or something coming this far? And he's like, I'm tired of people saying we're the underdogs. We're here to play. We're going to the NFC or AFC championship. We're not underdogs anymore. I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
Stop insulting the man.
I think, and everybody wants Mahomes to lose. Like everybody wants Patrick Mahomes to lose.
Oh,
And
pure
it's not even because of Patrick Mahomes. It's because of his fucking brother.
I know, dude. I hate his brother. I went on his TikTok, dude, and he's got like decent amount of followers and stuff. But if you read the comments, oh my God, dude.
Just people shitting on him.
Like the number one comment, like in every section, is Patrick Mahomes or Jackson Mahomes.
Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah. In every single comment, dude.
That's
Oh,
hilarious. That's really fucking funny.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know, Jackson Mahomes is the little brother of Patrick. Patrick's a really fucking good quarterback, probably going to be one of the best and remembered in history for a long time. And Jackson Mahomes is like little TikToking dancing star brother, and he's just a nuisance to society.
And he's not even little. Like he's not even like a little brother.
Oh, he's like 6'4" or some shit.
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
he's what, 20 now, 21 now.
Yeah, he's 21.
I think he was 20 last year and he got in trouble in Scottsdale for trying to drink underage with at one of the Scottsdale bars. I think our buddy Nick told us about that, but he's just a fucking tool. And talk about like, I guess, Patrick just ate up all the athleticism in that womb, because that is like the most metrosexual football player brother I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude. I think I don't know. I saw something where he was actually a big college basketball player, and then all of a sudden he dropped out, and I don't know.
TikTok.
He just like went to TikTok and started dancing, and like, dude, every time like I watched a few of them, dude, they're like cringe, like the cringiest shit I've seen. I feel like the only reason anyone gives two fucks about this kid is because he's Patrick Mahomes' little brother.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's fucking wild. And I've kind of been, I don't know, the last couple of weekends, I haven't even really watched football. Like I've tried to, and then I'm just like, nah, I don't really care about any of these games anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care in the end because, well, the Bears just hired a new coach and some dude at a left field. Like I had no idea who the fuck this guy was for me.
I didn't even see that. I saw you guys traded for, or you guys picked up what's his name what's the quarterback from the Ravens?
Lamar Jackson.
So you guys traded for Lamar Jackson, and everybody's like, dude, the Bears got Lamar Jackson, and then it's like some no-name cornerback from the Jets that plays only special teams.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's about how the Bears.
Well, dude, when I first saw it too, I didn't read the position. I just saw Lamar Jackson. And like it was kind of trending on Twitter for a little bit where I was like, why are you gonna do that to us, ESPN? Like,
well, I think the Bears program tweeted it out, like the Bears like Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was like, oh shit, they got Lamar Jackson. What the fuck? And then if you look at it, it's like cornerback, special teams position.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Some dude with like 3 tackles on the Jets.
Yeah.
Like he's been in the league for like 3 years, has like 3 tackles. Like
yeah. It's like even the Bears like fed into their own propaganda machine right there. Like they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna put this out just to gain some notoriety here for a second and let people talk about us.
Just fuck with people.
I know. It's fucking wild. Well, and that's kind of the only sport that I've been watching probably religiously is basketball, just because the Suns are smacking right now. Top of the fucking NBA. Yeah. 39 and like 9, 36 and 9, I think. They've only lost 9 times this season, and they're just killing it. And they look great. And they're still trying to add another 3-point threat. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, let's get somebody else in here that can shoot some threes.
Dude, I've been watching the Bulls. So that's kind of cool. But
the Bulls look good too. The Bulls look pretty good this year.
I know, dude. It's weird because like since Derrick Rose, they were trash. I'm like,
yeah,
that was a while ago.
Jimmy Butler was there afterwards, and
we were all right.
A boss.
They were all right.
Yeah,
like,
what was it? Jimmy Butler, and then that weird looking tall guy. He had like a man bun, and he had a weird ass name too. And he looked like, I don't know. He looked like Bigfoot. But Joakim Noah, that's what his name was.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyways, so they were all right. But yeah, the Bulls are looking pretty good this season. I don't even know who's on the team, actually, to be honest. I don't know a single Bulls player off the top of my head.
LaMelo. Wait.
Oh yeah, you got LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, is it LaMelo? That's right. I forgot who's the one on Charlotte on the Hornets. What's his name? Lonzo?
Oh, I'm not. Oh, you have Lonzo. That one's LaMelo. LaMelo's on the Hornets. He looks great this year too. Those two look pretty good this year. Those two look pretty fucking good this year.
Yeah, dude. Even though their dad's kind of crazy, but yeah, I like it.
And then, dude, have you seen like all the ESPN guys just shitting on Zion Williamson?
No.
Dude, they're just shitting on him because apparently he's just like out of shape now. Like he's not even injured anymore. He's just out of shape, and he's like 320 pounds or some shit like that.
Wow.
And like Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal were talking shit about his weight, bro.
Oh no.
On TV live in a halftime show. It wasn't even a game that the Pelicans were playing in. It was a different game.
What?
They're just shitting on Zion Williamson for being fat and like 22.
Is he still good? I don't even know.
No, he hasn't played for a while. He was injured, and now he's not coming back because they're pretty sure that nobody's released anything about it, but they're pretty sure it's because he's like too fat to play.
Damn. That sucks.
That shit's funny as fuck. I was like, damn, dude. Like, that's when like perspective hits you, and it's like, I'm glad I'm not a professional athlete because I don't want people talking about my fucking weight on national TV.
Yeah, dude. Just
or like
fucking-
you know, who you're dating on national TV, or like what, you know, like they just shit on your entire life. And broadcasters and shit like that have gotten savage.
oh yeah. Yeah. Well, like, I feel like with the, I guess everyone like anyone can kind of be like a sports show now. Like anyone can have their own. And like, I don't know, there's like, I forgot the guy's name, but he would do those like covers, like replay videos of the game where he like basically talks shit about all the players.
About all the players. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
some of my favorites. I love it.
Yeah, and he was brutal, just brutal on those. And I
Put your
feel like
motherfucking head back down.
that's what a lot of people want. They just want
Yeah.
this like savage to be talking like shit about players.
Dude, and well, that's the thing. It used to be like, you know, there was kind of like a savagery on like news broadcasts, and then the sports like telecasters, they were kind of like normal and professional, but then there was like some savagery going on in the news, and now it's like the opposite, where they're just shitting on fucking NBA, NFL, NHL players or like any professional athletes, and now like the most milquetoast takes ever are coming out of the news networks.
Yeah, they're fucking.
What was that one? I think Jason fucking Booth, he tagged us in something recently, and dude, he finds the best articles and then tags us in it.
Yeah, well, it's always like something military related or like random as fuck.
Yeah. Sometimes
some-
it's random as shit.
It's like dude has something stuck in his ass or something. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What is this? Where do you find this?
So all right, so he sent us one, and it's from the Daily Caller. Dude, he's got like the inside lead though. Like I swear he sees shit before it's like out to everybody else. This one's 26-year-old biological male sentenced to girls' juvie for molesting a child after coming out as trans.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but no, it's not gonna show up. Look at that guy. That's the guy that was sentenced.
Dude, it looks like Rob Gronkowski. Damn,
his
dude, he fell
his
off.
name now is Hannah Tubbs.
That's Hannah.
That's Hannah. That's say hi to Hannah, everybody.
Wow, dude.
That's fucking Hannah. Hannah Tubbs recently pleaded guilty to molesting a girl in a woman's bathroom 8 years ago when she was 17. At the time, she identified as male and went by James. She did not identify as a female until after she was taken into custody, prosecutors said. This guy's gaming the system. There's no way. He didn't come out as trans until after he got put in jail. Like this guy's
Dude, it's just
this
a
is
joke
something
now.
yeah, this is something that everybody's talked about, where it's like, yo, people are just gonna start saying it. Like, why not? What are they gonna do? Tell you you're not? Like, tell me, go ahead, tell me I'm not what I say I am. Like,
Yeah, and there's no way to prove it.
yeah,
'Cause it's like what the person feels. So if someone just
I
like,
feel like a
this
millionaire,
happens.
but I don't have a whole lot of money.
I know some people or that work up at the women's prison up
Yeah.
north from where I'm at, and they were telling me that there's literally like 6 dudes that identify as women that are at the prison.
Dude, it's the way to go if you got to go to prison, especially if you're going to be there for a long time.
Yeah. Well, like
If
and
you
he's
know
like
if you know you're going to prison for a while, I'm a woman. I'm a woman now.
yeah, why not, dude? I mean, if your life's over and you're gonna be stuck
Yeah.
in a jail cell with a bunch of dudes, why not just lie? Go head over to the women's prison. That's more action than you'll see in the men's prison. I mean, I guess you could get some action in the men's prison, but you know,
And rape's
And-
legal in prison, so
Jesus. And they told me that so like what they would do is if they're in the middle or if they're about to like do their surgery to transition, they just like hurt themselves and then their surgery gets pushed
it's
back
postponed.
for like, and it's the government, so you know it's slow as shit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like pushed back 9 months or something. Then they walk around the women's prison with you know, their balls. It's like,
with their balls still.
yeah, it's like, what the fuck, dude? And there was already been like an increase in like rapes. I think I saw something about that. I don't know if it was that severe. Like, I don't know how many people are abusing this system, but
I have no idea, but
it doesn't surprise me.
if it's just one, it's too many, right? If it saves just one person,
Exactly.
typo.
Exactly. Well, maybe getting those guys out of the men's prison, the rape numbers went down.
Yeah, probably. Just save their buttholes.
Yes. Now they're the rapist.
Yeah, dude, Jason's fucking awesome. He sends us shit all the time, and always just like, how did you find this? Like, what is, how do you find this shit?
Yeah, it's always, I don't know. Sometimes it's because I just follow like typically I follow a bunch of like mainstream shit, and that's kind of how I always follow like all the military ones just because there's interesting things in those articles that pop up here and there. Or you're like, I just saw one the other day where it was talking about what was it? Some like jet crashed in the South China Sea. And they're doing some training thing, and the fucking jet crashed. And this was like right when like the Ukraine thing was like really heated in those like first couple days. It was like training operation with in China, South China Seas. We lost a jet, and it was like, oh, we're really showing our ass here, guys.
We're fucking it up.
We're gonna be like, gonna be big bad to Russia right now. We can't be fucking up like this, guys. Come on.
Well, there's always like one or two really bad like training plane crashes a year, you know, where like 10 Marines die.
Yeah, I mean, didn't that happen when we were in 29 Palms?
Like, well, it happened when we were in 29 Palms. Yeah, there was a helicopter went down, and then one of the not Pelicans, that's not what they're called. I'm fucking thinking Halo right now. The ones that move, their fucking shit moves. God, what's the name of it? Their rotors move.
Oh, the Osprey.
The Osprey. One of those went down in Hawaii, remember? And it was like 8 sailors, 2 pilots, and then or 8 Marines, 2 pilots, and then like 3 corpsmen or something like that. And they all died, and they were trying to find the wreckage and shit like that. And and I think we talked about it then, and it was like how much of the air like side is so underfunded, and they have no money, and there's literally just people stacking shit together to make it work because they got to go out in an op like we did with Humvees.
Yeah, like we anytime like the maintenance on it isn't up to par always, and it's probably anyway like that in the military too. Like, I don't know, they just always screw things up, and then there's a lot of people that die.
Yeah, it's like par for the course for us. And with the whole Ukraine thing, I was like, it's just gonna get worse. Like, I feel like I don't know if we'll go to war. I don't know if we'll do it. I don't think so. I don't think we will. I think this is going to be a standoff just to do a standoff. But at the same time, I know some branches of the army that are already getting spun up, some of the airborne divisions that are already getting spun up, and we'll probably put troops in the Ukraine that do fight, but it's not going to be an Iraq or Afghanistan, at least not right now. But Iraq and Afghanistan started the same way. It just didn't seem like it because September 11th happened, but we were already in the country with some units before that. So, you know, it could turn into the same thing. And that seems par for the course for us too.
Yeah, I think, well, the Ukrainian president, because so like our media and President Biden is kind of making this seem like it's a really big deal. At least that's coming from the State Department and stuff. And apparently the Ukrainian president was like, this is really not that big of a deal. We need to stay calm.
Yeah,
but we're open to negotiations. And if you guys keep freaking out like this, it's sending the wrong message.
Yeah, he was like,
we're all calm here.
He was like meeting with Putin that day at the same time that Biden was like sitting there talking about having to send troops to the Ukraine to protect them. And he was like, and then he came out later like, I don't know why he said that. We had a meeting with Putin today, talking about, you know, this, that, or the other. Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, and the only thing is, like, I kind of agree with you. I think it's like a dick showing contest right now,
Yeah.
where people are just trying to show their dick, see who's bigger.
Do
But
you think Biden's trying to appeal to the right now?
I think he's just trying to come off as like tough and like he can handle these situations. But
But it's looking like a situation that he didn't even need to handle in the first place.
yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, we're definitely, for some reason, America has to interject itself on a border crisis 6,000 miles away, but we can't.
Yeah, in a country that half the population speaks Russian and
Yeah.
and would consider themselves Russian if asked.
Yeah, and I think there's even like I don't know if it's majority, but maybe a substantial minority of the country that wants to be back part of Russia
Yeah.
because they were like, I think in the 1970s, they were part of Russia.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just the craziest thing. I got, there's a guy that works with me and he was like, what do you think about this whole Ukraine thing? And he was in the army. And I was like, it's fucking stupid. We shouldn't be involved. Da 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 da. And the question you always get asked is, I don't know if you get asked it that much anymore. It's like, would you go back? Would you go back in if a war popped off? And I'm like, no, I fucking wouldn't. Why would I go back? I got out for a reason. Why would I go back? But there's a lot of guys that, they get out and then they think, oh, the grass is greener back on the military side. And it's like, no, you got out for a reason, bro. Remember that. Please remember that, because it's fucking ass. It's fucking ass. And you're doing things, but there's a lot of people out there right now, especially right now, I think, that are like, the military was easy because you didn't have to think at all. You don't have to think. You don't have to make decisions. You just get told where to be, when to be, and how to be. And then you go and do it. And it's an easy way to live, but I don't know if you can really consider that living.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's always, I don't know. It's just weird. And like, even if it is like, I kind of, like we were saying, I think it is kind of like a dick showing contest, but
Yeah.
it's just like, it's playing with fire still. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's like,
this
why?
yeah. It's like, this should, like, I don't know. It seems like our side is making this seem like a much bigger deal than it really is to even those two countries that are involved. And it's like, I don't know, talking about sending troops to Ukraine, and it's like Russia has like 100,000 troops on their border. It's just like, this is, one wrong move or fucking one hothead or I don't know, something like that could easily, like, oh, we were attacked, and oh hell, that was funny too when they kept saying that like Russia's notoriously known for doing false flags, so we have to be on the watch for a false flag, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
You know who else is known for doing false flags?
I was like,
The
did you
United
just say that?
States.
Did you just say that out loud?
Yeah, there was something happened and everybody was like, is this a false flag? I think it was in our Discord. We got it in like but they were like, is this a false flag? And it was about Ukraine. I'll see if I can find it, because I was like, I didn't even see that. But well, talking about propaganda and something similar to false flags is, did you see Biden was supposed to visit Pittsburgh today, and the Pittsburgh bridge collapsed? He was going to visit Pittsburgh to talk about infrastructure and building the fucking roads. And 8 hours before he went there, one of the major bridges going into Pittsburgh collapsed and hurt like 10 people.
Suspicious.
And it's like, come on, man. Like, I'm not saying that it just spontaneously, like, you're just saying that it just collapsed today of all days. Like, I'm
a little weird.
I'm just you and I just aren't ones with coincidence, like I'm just not a person that sees coincidence. Like, that's a big coincidence.
Yeah. I didn't even know I did see that the bridge collapsed though, but I didn't realize he was giving a speech there. I just saw the bridge collapse.
Yeah. He was going to give a speech there specifically about infrastructure.
Wow. That's weird. I mean, I don't know.
Crazy.
I'm not saying that, our overlords are not nefarious where it's like, we need to get this passed, blow up the fucking bridge. But at the same time, they fucking slaughter children in third world countries and don't even lose sleep over it. So it's like, it's possible. If someone came out and said that, like, Yeah, we've just found out that someone working in the Biden administration blew up the bridge. It wouldn't shock me that much.
Yeah,
I would,
if they proved it, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
I was like,
Um,
that's interesting.
so then, well, we were talking about football earlier. There was this is also from Jason Booth. He was like, he sent an article from Yahoo, and it's Bills fans charged with using fake COVID-19 vaccine cards to attend a playoff game. And I was like, that's wild. Well, I mean, it's not that wild. It's more like, I guess it's not that it's wild. It's par for the course for Bills fans. Like, it's like, do you see those fucking guys? You think those guys are getting vaccines? Like, come on. But how did they get caught? Like, how bad? Like, this had to be a pretty bad fake, because there's no like central agency that's, you know, looking at all these cards, you know, like they're not getting uploaded to a centralized document saying.
I wonder, I didn't read the article. Did they get in the game? Like,
I don't know.
actually got to go to it?
I'll look, but if they didn't, like, do you have to submit online that you're vaccinated and then they check it that way? I'll look, but I just thought it was weird.
Vax required place.
You have, or you haven't?
I have not.
So they were in the game, and law enforcement officials questioned them during the third quarter of the January 15th game. Fans 12 and older are required to be fully vaccinated to attend Bills home games in compliance with a statewide mandate. New York government, dude, half those people in the stadium were not fucking vaccinated. You can't tell me that Northern New York was vaccinated. Like, there's no way. Games in compliance with statewide mandate. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, she's the one that's filling in for what's his fuck face, the
Cuomo.
Yeah, Cuomo, the adulterer. That's not the right word. The assaulter, the sexual assaulter, Mr. Cuomo,
harasser. Disgusting.
Yeah. Signed a bill into law in December, making the forgery of COVID-19 vax cards a crime. Use of forged vaccine cards is also a violation of federal law. The bill's webpage explaining the team's vaccine policy. Please note that forgery of a vaccination card is a felony and punishable by law. According to the Erie County District Attorney's Office, this is the first time they've prosecuted the new law since Hochul signed it. So this is the first time it's ever been used. It doesn't say how they could tell it was fake. I don't know how they can tell it's fake. It depends on, this is how District Attorney John J. Flynn told reporters that the Bills learned of the couple's alleged plan via their social media posts. They deserve it. They deserve it. Which were flagged by an anonymous tipster. Fuck that guy, but you deserve it.
Rat.
Like, yeah, there's snitches get stitches. You probably deserve a few lead holes somewhere in your body, but don't be an idiot and post it on your social media if you do such things.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. We know what happens to people that post stuff on social media when they
did you see oh yeah. Yeah, we know firsthand actually on that one. Did you see the dude that was posting on Twitter? He was like, I won't be posting on Twitter very much anymore. My house got raided by the feds today specifically for my Twitter post, my social media posts. You see that?
Great, I'm next.
I mean, you know, one can hope, right?
Just like, Jesus Christ, dude. Did they say did you see anywhere about what he might have said? Was he critical of the FBI? I need to know.
I think he got raided by the FBI. So that's I think that's a very good possibility. Or yeah, the FBI does foreign, right? Foreign stuff, and CIA does domestic, or is it the opposite?
It would be the opposite.
Yeah, it is the opposite. CIA does domestic, FBI does foreign. Yeah.
No,
so
FBI does domestic.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Okay.
That's how I meant to say it. Trying to read and talk at the same time, and I can't even read. So but yeah, so I think I'll see if I can find that. I can't find the Ukraine red flag thing, but on our Discord, it's somewhere in there. If anybody's a part of it, you can find it. But yeah, I just think it's like, I think 2020 I think it's kind of underwhelming. This month has gone by pretty quick. Kind of expected it to be bigger. Agreeable? Not agreeable?
What to be bigger?
I don't know. I thought shit was about to pop, like not like actual shit pop off, like rounds down range, but you know, I thought we were gonna see, like, I thought OSHA. I thought that was gonna go through Supreme Court.
It's all kind of failing. Like
Yeah.
the COVID
Oh,
stuff's like
doesn't
all
it-
falling.
Doesn't it? Yeah. Doesn't it seem like it's breaking down a little bit? And you know what's bad?
Denmark.
What's bad is I
Denmark
saw
just-
that, but
Yeah.
you know what's all right. So you know what's bad about everything breaking down is that I think it's, well, I've said this before. I think you and I have both talked about this. It's like we thought it was going to happen when Biden came into the office, and he was going to pivot away from it and just go away from it and be like, look. And I think it's happening now, but I think we touched on it a little bit on our last podcast, but now they've just gotten companies to go along with it anyways. And they just took the whole year, and now they're pivoting it away from it. Now it's Ukraine, and they're still hitting on vaccines and stuff like that, but it's not near as hard. And
Yeah.
the November
I think-
election, you know, like
Yeah.
everything that's
I
coming
think
up.
I think there's like kind of I don't know. Because like a lot of times the government typically they like to try to find a way that they can get a victory. Like a
Yeah.
clear something happens where it's like, oh yeah, okay, we everything that we did, it's like I feel like they're looking for something right now that can be like, we did everything we could without all these measures we took. There would have been more death or whatever, or anything that they can say. I mean, this is things they're probably going to say if they ever decide it's over. But
Yeah.
then a part of me thinks that like there might be some places here in this country that never go back to normal.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like some places are just gonna kind of stay like this and they'll drag this out longer. But I don't know. I think this thing's kind of falling apart because England and Denmark they're the first two, like, guess more Western countries that have
Yeah,
ended
I
their
didn't-
mask mandate and ended their vaccine mandate.
I was
on
going
the
to say, I
same
didn't
day.
read a whole lot about that. Do you know more about that than I do?
About Denmark,
Yeah. Denmark and who was it? Sweden?
England.
England. Oh yeah. I saw England. That was pretty wild. That was surprising, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Apparently there was like a big uproar because Boris Johnson got caught doing something, maybe not wearing a mask, but I feel like we've caught our people do that all the time. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But Boris Johnson got caught up in something and there's kind of an uproar. Then like a couple days later, he was like, okay, we're done. We're not doing
Yeah.
this anymore. And then I don't really know what happened in Denmark, but I did see there was mass protest in Denmark just through
Who-
Twitter.
Who
But
was the prime minister before Boris? Wasn't it like some chick like Meghan Markle or something like that? Or is that Germany?
I feel
Meghan.
I feel like Meghan Markle's the
Oh no,
princess.
she's the princess.
It's like Germany.
Who's the Germany? I don't know. That sounds fucking like some politician's
I
name.
feel like the
she
German
is a
prime minister
politician.
starts with an M. I think you were right about that.
German prime minister. Her name is Angela Merkel. I was close. I was fucking close.
You were close.
And then England
Boris
prime
Johnson, but I
minister.
don't remember who it was before.
Because
who ca-
remember
But
It
who
was-
cares, really?
so it was Boris Johnson and then England prime minister before. Trying to do this at the same time before Boris Johnson. The honorable lady Theresa May, that was her name. The right honorable
Yeah.
lady May MP.
I forgot about that.
And then before that, it was David Cameron. But do you remember they like went through 3 different prime ministers in, 3 years or something like that? And Boris Johnson was the one that won after the whole, what is it, Escapegate or whatever that fucking was. Remember when
Okay.
England was doing their succession stuff.
Oh
from the
yeah, the
EU.
Brexit. Yeah.
Brexit. Yeah. The Britain exit. Yeah, that's what it was. The scapegoat. I don't know. I'm just making shit up on here. Meghan Markle, Angela Merkel. Like, come on, man. What do you expect from me? But you know,
Yeah.
like, and then Boris Johnson has been asked to like leave for a while, and he just won't leave. But he was the Trump of England, kind of. Like, that's how everybody made him out to be.
I love though when you see like, I don't know what it's called, but when like they're having their little meeting or whatever, and people go like, you can hear like the other politicians like cheering and boo, they'll actively boo.
I know. They're
And
like,
I love that, dude. I'm like,
it's
oh,
like a-
fuck yeah.
Dude, it's exactly how it's like. Do you remember what's the Mel Gibson movie where he's the Patriot? It's the Patriot, and they're like yelling in the fucking in the
Yes.
council, the city council,
Yes.
about like fighting the British. I love it, dude. That's what it reminds me of. And they still wear the fucking wigs. They still wear the fucking wigs. They do it in
Hells
Canadian
yeah.
Parliament too.
That's fucking weird. But
I'm
I just
so
love
glad
them
we
yelling.
got out of that because
I-
it looks stupid as shit. But
I kind of wish our fucking politicians would yell at each other here, but
dude,
not like
I mean,
like how it's like the chant with like, oh, boo, boo, and like just boo the shit out of the dude. Like I love it. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
me too. I love public humiliation. Like I think that's I think it's healthy for a healthy society. Like for a
Yes.
thriving society, you need public humiliation at some point. Like
Yeah.
there's some things that you should get booed out of a room for. Like I get that. But I think that America is the most tame, and I think it's because they're all in cahoots together. The most tame, like congressional or council, whatever you want to call it, like all of it together, congressional caucus, or I don't know, caucus isn't the right congressional group. Because do you remember the last 2 years we saw like people in India fighting each other in a fucking courtroom, and then people in Turkey fighting each other in the courtroom? They're like throwing each other over the fucking tables and shit.
Yeah,
I was
dude,
like,
that
I
was
want it to be
awesome.
like that. That was dope. Like,
Yeah.
if you're really about it, be about it, bro. Like, let's go. We'll throw down in the middle of Congress.
Yeah, that was yeah, I forgot what country that was. I think you were right, Egypt or something like that.
Yeah,
But
I don't know if it. Yeah, it might not
Turkey,
have been
maybe?
India, but yeah,
I
it was
don't
something
know.
like that.
They were brown skinned, but they were totally like fucking. They were throwing each
Literally,
other,
like
dude.
the majority of the world. Dude, I
That
wonder-
could be in South
many-
America too.
how many- they weren't South American. They were too dark, and their hair was
the dark
not
brown.
curly enough.
Yeah.
Their hair was not curly enough. I wonder how many. I wonder what the actual population is for like people that are white. That's considered Caucasian males comparative
Let's see
to
where we rate in the world, dude.
yeah, because we got to be small. Like white people got to be small. Like
Not
yeah,
much.
in the United States we're the majority, maybe, kind of, but in the rest of the world, like all comparatively, we got to be 25% or less. Like that's my guess.
Oh, you think we're okay? Okay. I mean, you might be right, dude. Those fucking Chinese got like 1 billion.
Yeah, and then India's got like another billion. So like
Yeah,
there's
dude,
only
we're-
7 billion.
Yeah, and our birth rate's going down in this country.
Yeah, because we're smart. The rest of them aren't.
Oh, that's
That
smart.
joke.
Mm,
I think it's smart. We're the stupidest ones. We we created woke culture.
we elected Joe Biden.
Yeah. Fucking white people. Dude.
No.
It's our fault. Is it hard to find the statistics on how many white people there are in the world?
Yes, I don't know why.
They don't
Okay,
want you to
here.
know, man.
Nope.
They don't want you to. They want to keep
Dude,
us down. They want to keep us
Yeah.
down, typo.
Dude, what the fuck?
They want to keep the brothers down. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like we got to be the smallest. You got to think of Africa. Like
I don't know, dude. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of Asians out there, man.
there's a
bunch
shit ton of fucking Asians out there. There's a shit ton of Asians out there.
Like those
As
guys.
there should be. They're creating more engineers than the United States have put out in the last like 100. So, I like my motion sensor lights and everything else
Yeah.
that engineers
And
create.
I
But,
think there's like 1 billion Muslims too, dude. Those Middle Easterns.
Yeah,
got a lot of
there's a
kids.
there's a lot of there's a lot of white
Well-
women that converted to being Muslim this last 2 years.
I mean,
so.
this
They
last
just-
like decade, we've been taming that population.
ISIS,
so
yeah, we've been culling the fuck out of that population for the last 20 years. So,
we've
but we've
putting
been
them
sending
down.
we've been sending our high school graduate teenage daughters over there to become ISIS wives for a while too. You remember all those stories? I remember those stories. Pepperidge Farms remembers,
What stories?
like the teenage girls from the United States that find out about what war is and things like that, and are like, we should be on ISIS's side, and then they go over and find their way to ISIS and
All right,
Iraq
white
or
people.
Afghanistan.
There's
Yeah.
1.2 billion white people.
So we're 1/7 of the population.
We're doing pretty good.
What's one? What's
Dude,
1/7? What's that as?
The Asians, dude. Oh my god, they dominate, bro.
Oh, we're less than 25%, bro. We're 14%.
Wow, dude.
14.28571429. 14%.
Dude, we slaughtered the Native Americans. They're at 4%, bro.
Well, it wasn't just us. Like there was Native Americans everywhere. Dude, I feel like Africa, dude, those are they're
Africa's
not
got a
American.
billion.
I know,
Or
but they're not.
Black people got a billion, dude.
Yeah, but they're native, right? Like you can't say that the people in
I don't
They're
know. I
not-
don't know really know
they're
how they're
native
breaking this down.
Africans. Like, how did they break that? How did they make that differential?
It's funny. This chart also puts white people in the front.
How? We're 14%.
I don't know, dude. It puts us at first, then blacks, then Asians. Next is Middle Eastern. And they got 1.6
How
billion.
many Asians are there?
Asians 2.1 billion.
There's more of them right there off
They're
the bat.
31%. I'm not saying they're ordering it like by
Oh.
number. They're just, I don't know why. When you read the chart, it's for white people first. I'm saying that's kind of a dog.
How many Hispanic people are there?
That's a good question. Are they under other? Hispanics aren't even on this list, bro. I don't know. Do they count them
That's
as Native
kinda weird.
American?
No,
I don't know.
no, because the Spaniards fucking took over all the Native Americans in the South.
I don't know, dude. Maybe if they count them as Caucasian, if they're throwing in the Hispanics with the
Oh,
Caucasians. dude.
so that might be true. I just learned this the other day that during like when the United States, when the United States acquired like Arizona, New Mexico, parts of Texas, California, Nevada. So obviously it was mostly Mexican land, from Mexico. That was where their borders went up to. But when the US acquired it, all the Hispanics didn't want to be counted as black, but they weren't white, but they went and fought the United States government and said that they weren't black, so they couldn't be treated as black people.
Nice.
And they legally, they are considered not black, but white, which is
Nice.
wild. I learned that the other day. Thanks, TikTok.
Yeah, I always wonder that because like there still had to have been a bunch of Mexicans here back in like the whenever
there
the
was-
Jim
It was
Crow laws
probably
or whatever.
the majority,
But
or not
you
the
only
majority,
see
but like
you only see like black people are the ones that get abused by that. Like
they're
I
getting
never,
hosed in the streets,
yeah,
and it's
you
just
never,
fucking.
yeah. There wasn't shit going on in Arizona where like Mexicans were like we want our rights and white people are hosing them down in the streets. Like we didn't. I didn't
But-
see the videos.
Yeah, I mean it happened in a different way in the Southwest. Like that's when like Cesar Chavez got really big. Some people like that because they were fighting for minorities' rights or Hispanic people's rights in like the fields of Southwest. Like, could you? I don't know. Would you rather be? This is fucked already. Would you
White.
rather?
I'd rather be white.
I'd rather be white. Would you rather be working on a cotton plantation in the South as a slave, or working as a Hispanic person in the Southwest in the summer? In like the fields in the Southwest.
Were we going like early 1800s, son?
Yeah, same time frame. Would you rather Georgia summer?
I think I'd
Or
rather
would you rather-
be a
Or would
black
you
dude,
rather
I think.
would you rather Georgia summer, or would you rather Arizona summer in the 1800s?
I think I'd rather be a black dude.
We have a lot of cotton fields here in Arizona too. Just saying.
Were the Mexicans
Somebody
or the
had to
Chinese
work 'em.
picking them? No.
Well, the Chinese were working on the railroad, so that only leaves one minority left. Wasn't a
Yeah.
whole lot of black people out here.
Damn.
But
Did-
hey,
did-
you don't
wait,
know, you don't ever hear about them. You don't ever hear about them.
No. Yeah. Dude, I wonder. Yeah, it's always like the South, dude. I wonder what was going on in like. Do you think California?
Oh
pretty
yeah.
racist.
Oh yeah. They were
I bet they
California's
were,
still super racist.
I bet California was the worst, and that's why they're so woke now because they're trying to make up for what they did.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, but we never hear about like anything California did. It's probably because the liberals take over the history class in school, dude. They'll never talk
Dude,
about.
I just think people of Hispanic heritage are built different. They just I mean, we fucking know them. They're in the Marine Corps, man. They just put their fucking head down and go. And then they don't really care at that point. They're like, you're gonna keep going, or you're just gonna let me do what I want to do. Like fucking Mario is the perfect example. Our buddy Mario is the perfect example. He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. Like you're either gonna take my hard work or you're not. And everybody just took his hard work because he was a good worker. But he was a fucking asshole to everybody above him. And then but then there's like bad Hispanic people like Hector.
like most of them, yeah.
No, just like Hector, because he can't even work hard. Like that dude was built like a toothpick. He was a stick figure. He's like the kid's stick figure. Like that's what he looked like, and he was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, he definitely.
It's like, what does he work hard at? He was a wire dog. They're supposed to. I wish you could have seen the guy that he was supposed to replace. It was like this big black dude. Like that was like Hector was the replacement for this big black dude, and he was like this 5'8", 110-pound Hispanic guy.
Yeah. What was this?
That looked like Kermit the Frog. Like
how
Mexican
big was this
Kermit.
black dude?
I mean, he wasn't much taller, but he was like 190 pounds.
How much would he go for on the slave market? Is he a good one?
Yeah, he's a good one. Good one.
$400. God damn.
Yeah, back then, $400, $400, boy.
Have you seen that Key and Peele skit where they're like slaves on the auction and they're like waiting to get picked and they're like, all right, how much money is he going for? And they're like, God damn, $100. Like, I don't know if I'm worth $100.
Yeah.
And then one dude goes for like $5 and he's like, no way, I'm worth so much more than that. And he's getting mad because he got auctioned for $5.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, like honestly, I mean, that was us in the Marine Corps. We were just like, I'm better than that, and I'm not worth that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like they spent how, because what was the price tag they spent on you in the Marine Corps? Well, what did they say that it was when you got out of boot camp or out of MOS school? Wasn't it like $1 million or
Probably
250?
crazy.
Yeah, it's like $500,000 to train somebody from boot camp to like their MOS school. I think it's something crazy like that.
Something ridiculous. Yeah.
And all of us are like, yeah, none of us are worth that. We are pieces of shit. We had 3 DUIs in this platoon last month. None of them are even allowed to drive, and half of them are underage.
Yeah, like it was dude. Actually, the most time I've seen people get in trouble was in the schoolhouse. Like everyone got in trouble for something. Like that's where like the degenerates fell out. Like the people that weren't going to be in the military their whole career, that's when you saw them become like, I don't know how many times people got busted for drugs or fucking who knows, doing something weird that you didn't think you'd get in trouble for. That
was the craziest thing was, well, it's always the SoCal people. That's what it was. Well, it's like where I was at. It was always the SoCal people. It was the people that were close to home, close enough to home that they could go back home and then they would fuck it up. Like they would fuck it up somehow because they would just go back and because degenerates join the military.
Yeah, and then they go hang out.
So
with
they
their
go hang
degenerate
out with
friends that are not
Exactly.
in the military.
Yeah.
Doing some shady shit.
Like in 29 Palms when I was in MOS school, I couldn't go 4 hours back home to Phoenix. I had no urge to, but I also couldn't. So it's whatever, you know. And at that point, my parents were in Denver, so there was no point for me to go there anyways, except to hang out with degenerate friends, which is why one of the reasons why I joined the Marine Corps anyways, because I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. But there was a lot of it was always the SoCal people. They would always go home on the weekends or have their buddies come down and drive and pick them up, and then they'd get in trouble. And by the time Monday rolled around, they were getting NJP.
Yeah.
I've never seen a faster NJP though. MOS school and boot camp.
Yeah, they happen quick, dude.
Like they have that paperwork on lock. That's the most efficient. That's the most efficient I've ever seen the Marine Corps.
Yeah, because when I got NJP, dude, it was like months. It was like 2 months before I actually got NJP. It was like ridiculous. I was like, can I just get my punishment? We're getting close to Christmas here, bro. Like, come on.
Maybe that's why they held it out. They were like, we're gonna fuck this guy over for the ball on Christmas. Because I was supposed to go to your ball. How was your date?
You were my date. And it was weird too, because at first they told me I could go. And I was like, all right, cool. And then like a week before, they're like, we think it's actually a bad idea that you go. I'm like,
it's because there's alcohol there and you had an alcohol related charge.
Yeah. I was like, okay. So yeah, didn't get to go to my last Marine Corps ball in Vegas. But I got all my monies back.
There you go. What else? What else did you see in the news? What else do you want to talk about there, Typo?
Dude. Hit my mic. Dude. What was it? Oh my gosh, I just had it. Fuck. I think it was something with the FBI that I
We were
saw.
talking about the FBI earlier.
Well, since we're probably, I don't know, gonna get swatted for some tweet we made about the FBI.
Oh, I found that tweet too. I'll read that real quick while you look for whatever the fuck you were looking for. So it's this guy, Dirty Anarchist, and on his name on there is just some dude. But it's not going to be on here much. Got raided by FBI this morning. Warning to my mutuals. They do in fact monitor social media. And the raid came strictly from my Twitter posts. Be safe. And honestly, I'm sorry to all of you out there that didn't know this already, but you're being monitored 24/7 on your Twitter and Instagram posts. So I'm not saying that he shouldn't have known, but I'm kind of saying he probably should have known. And you gotta kind of like, I'm not saying watch what you say, but be ready because they'll just show up at your door. We've seen this multiple times over the last, since we started this podcast, there's been a couple people that we've known because of their posts that have, gone and gotten raided because of what they posted on social media.
Yeah, it's pretty, I guess the military is definitely clamping down a lot harder than like social media shit. And they're making that very clear. Lloyd Austin has already talked about that, how they're weeding out racism and extremism from the military. And like now you can't even like an anti-government post. You can't like it,
yeah,
apparently. And I don't know. And I put out a tweet, or it was like a poll on Twitter where I was just curious, like asking people like, okay, if you did get the vaccine, did you get it? Were you going to get it on your own terms, or did you get it because your job mandated it?
Right.
And someone's like, said something like, oh, I bet you and your Fed friends that raided the Capitol would like to know. I'm like, what?
Dude,
like,
you can scroll past this and not vote.
Yeah, you can just not vote or anything. And if you don't feel comfortable with an anonymous Twitter poll, but at the same time, is like, is it a secret that you're unvaccinated? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not I don't know. I guess it's okay for people not to want to discuss the medical shit. It's really not a big deal. Like, I think if someone's uncomfortable talking about it, they shouldn't have to talk about it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I'm in a place where most people around me are not vaccinated, and it's not that they're not necessarily proud of it, but they're just like, yeah, I didn't get it. I think it's fucking crazy. And it's kind of one of those things that
Do you? All right. So
it
this
comes
is
up
something
in
I wanna ask
conversation.
you.
It comes up in conversation whether you like it or not. Like, it's such a hot topic in the world around us that it comes up in conversation, and people
Do
are
you-
like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Do you? All right. So you know how Phoenix is. You can find pop up vaccination tents and pop up testing COVID-19 testing sites. Do you guys have that? Like, there's like 10 people in your town. Is it like at the local Walmart or in the parking lot of the school?
We would
Like,
go to the hospital. We have one of those, and that's the only place that you can go. Like, I guess you can go buy a testing kit from Walmart if you wanted to.
well, yeah, you got the testing kits there, but I just meant
but-
like, you remember remember down by Tempe when we go
There
down
was like 4 or
that
5
road?
places.
Yeah, and it was always, the traffic always slows down right there because there's a turnoff for testing.
Hmm.
I was like, you guys don't have that in the parking lot. You guys just go to the hospital. How many people are in your hospital? Like fucking 15?
I don't
Whatever
know, dude.
inmate is in there that day. Whoever
Dude, I
got
don't know.
stabbed last night
Honestly,
in the prison.
Honestly, I feel like the hospital is just here so they can ship you to St. Louis, because anytime it's a serious like thing, they just send you, they helicopter you to
Well,
St.
yeah,
Louis.
because how many fucking doctors do you have in your town? 3, and most of them are pediatricians, so they can touch or diddle little kids.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. And probably they probably don't live here. Like, no, they probably live closer to St. Louis or something. Like, at least I haven't seen anyone a neighbor or someone, and I'm like, oh, that dude's the doctor in town. Like, no, usually what it is like
How
some
far is
Indian
how
dude.
far? I don't remember seeing a hospital in your town. How far is it from your town?
It's right in the middle of we passed it a couple different times.
So it doesn't even look like a hospital then, because I don't
It looks like
remember it at all.
I don't know what a hospital is supposed to look like, so I guess not. It looks like it's a smaller one than like the ones in Phoenix. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it has
It's just a
almost.
fucking shack.
Right.
It looks like a little crack shack. And I was like, oh,
It's right across the street from the bar. Okay, so
is it really?
no.
Oh, I was like, damn, dude, I did not see that. I thought a post office was across the street from the bar.
No, it's yeah, I mean, it's in the middle of town, so I don't know how else to explain it. Like it's like there's nothing
But
behind
like middle
it,
of
I guess.
like it's got to be small, because the middle of your town is like 2 blocks.
Yeah, it's probably a smaller hospital than most, but it's still, I don't know, they call it a hospital. I don't fucking know, man. People go there for emergencies. That's all I fucking know. I don't know what is the criteria for something to be called a hospital.
No, I'm
but
not
it's
saying that
called
there's a
hospital.
criteria. I just don't remember a hospital at all. I remember Walmart and McDonald's being across the street from Walmart. I remember going down. Well, there's a Taco Bell over there too. Isn't
Yeah,
there?
okay. So
Yeah.
say you're leaving the McDonald's, right? And you go down the hill and then up the hill, right?
Yeah.
You
Because
remember
that
that?
main street leads back to your house.
Well, on that main street that you're taking, that same one that Walmart and McDonald's is on the left is the hospital.
I don't remember it. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I do remember it. I remembered it just now. I just got a picture in my head.
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
remember
it's
what it
not-
looks like, but I remember the
very
sign that
big.
says hospital.
Yeah, it's not
Kind of like
very-
out in the open, like in the,
But-
it's not like the middle of nowhere, but it's like out in the, like, there's like field on the other side, and then there's hospital.
Yeah,
I remember.
But like literally, like I don't know, unless it's like something easy, I guess that hospital can fix. They do, but anything that's some sort of emergency, they ship you to St. Louis. Like you're getting in the helicopter and you're going to St. Louis.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Because I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck's in St. Louis. I never been, never got to take the ride, but a lot of people around here that's had some serious injuries, they always get shipped to St. Louis, which is like an hour.
Is that where you got
hour.
your x-rays done? when you were in high school?
At the Chester
The Chester.
Hospital. Yeah.
uh, I just wish I had the X-ray that your dad saw, that I was like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah. I don't know. We might. Well, my dad might have it. He's a weirdo.
You should put that as your profile picture for
I would.
Twitter.
If I found it, I would. I bet I could go to the hospital and be like, I needed to see my X-rays.
Well, yeah, they keep they still keep paper files probably.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they keep there, but I never went to that hospital. I never had an emergency that I had to, but I was born in a different hospital. I mean, no one trusts this hospital.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like a little crack shack on the side of the road.
I don't know. I don't know why people don't trust it, but there's always like the doctor is always like, it's always Indian dudes.
I wonder where they come from. Like,
I'm assuming
where they,
India.
well, no, where they commute from, you fucking dumb fuck.
I don't know, because I don't see like
They
there's
don't
not
commute
Indian.
from India.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not Indian like people that I see that go to my schools or anything, or parents or kids. So they don't have to.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
they
think
send their
live.
kids to a private school, not fucking your high school. You come out of your high school. Why would they send their kid there? They're doctors.
Yeah, understandable. You're not getting a doctor sending him to my high school. I'll tell you that. I don't think there's ever been a doctor that's come out of my high school.
Yeah, just dumbass Marines. You got a couple of those.
Yeah, usually it's blue collar workers and people that join the military. That's what my high school breeds. And
Hey,
nurses. Shit
long
ton
as
of
you-
nurses.
Well, yes, somebody's got to work for the Indian doctor.
Yeah, it's usually annoying white women.
Makes sense. That's like the general rule of thumb for nurses everywhere. I was gonna ask. Oh, did you figure out your FBI thing yet?
Oh shit. No,
Nope.
But-
Totally forgot.
it wasn't about the FBI. So I don't know why, but the military all of a sudden has started to approve. It's weird. So they've approved more religious exemptions, but at the same time, they've kicked more people out for refusing the vaccine. So I don't know.
So what you're saying is
Why?
people just need to say that they have a religious exemption and run with it?
Well, I apparently like only like 3,000 or 4,000 religious exemptions have been approved, but there was like 20,000 that was submitted. So
Oh,
something
wow.
like-
How many
like
people have
right-
gotten kicked out?
I don't know the
Did it
exact
say?
number, but there was just an article about 13 sailors that were kicked out for not taking the vaccine. But now the Pentagon has halted the mandatory vaccination for the civilian workers
Of course they did.
because of the Supreme Court ruling, and Biden scratched his plan basically because the Supreme Court shut it down.
December
So I-
17th, more than 100 Marines have been discharged as all U.S. military service began disciplinary action against troops who refused the vaccine.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like the anthrax thing, because when I was reading, like the anthrax had, I don't know, a significant amount of people that refused it, and they got kicked
Oh.
out.
The Washington Post reported on October 10th, hundreds of thousands of U.S. troops have not yet complied with vaccine mandates as deadline nears. That's pretty wild. December 30th. So the first article was December 17th. December 30th, 2021, Marines kick out 206 troops for refusing COVID-19 vaccine. And that's Politico. That's wild. That's all right. So 200 so far that I can verify with the propaganda network. That's a lot though. Like, fuck. Could you imagine the units that lost those people? Because they're probably like very specific units.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
like it's probably like 50 from a unit, 20 from another unit, 30 from a different unit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's probably is like one here and there, you know. But
Yeah, there's probably onesies and twosies, and it's probably because they
But
didn't want
definitely-
them in anyways, and then
Yeah.
so they kicked them out, and they're like, "This is an easy reason why." But then I bet you it's like mass. I bet you the majority of it's like 10 plus.
yeah, I mean, it seems like and it's definitely a lot easier. I mean, if you
It's
get
probably
a
like
group of-
seventh com.
well, well, it might be a bunch of like, honestly, it might be a bunch of dudes that are like, free ticket out, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking
All in the
Alright.
same, like, and they're probably all in the same unit. They all hated it just like we did. Because I would have gotten kicked out for this if I was still in. I'd have been like, yeah. I wonder if they get full benefits. I bet you that's an interesting question. I wonder if we could find that out. Maybe I'll look that up and
Well, I
see if it's
think-
full benefits. But
I think some of them were getting administratively separated, and I think after like, I know after like 6 months you can reapply, but there has been definitely some Republicans that's like came in and said, I don't know if this got passed, but they're trying to pass bills that if you get kicked out for refusing the vaccine, you will have an honorable discharge.
dude,
And I don't
I'm
know if
upset.
that got
I just
passed.
looked at Politico and it says December 30th, overall 95% of all active duty Marines have received at least the first dose, while 86% of the reserve force has received the first shot. Fuck them. This is,
Wow.
and this goes back to like what we talked about before. Like I think the military complies because the military believes that what they're doing. I mean, the majority of the military is 18 to 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're gonna,
And if you get, and you're like at that point, especially when you're newer in the military, when you don't really even know what shot you're getting. When the military says, "Hey,
Yeah.
go take this shot," you're just like, okay. Like, I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know what it's for. And
Yeah.
asking your buddy is probably not the best thing because they probably don't know either. And then you go get the shot, and then you're like, please take my name off the list so you don't call me up here again, and you move on with your fucking day.
and then 2 months later, you get called back for the exact same shot.
Yeah, that does happen.
I think that's why I haven't gotten COVID yet. I think, well, have you gotten COVID yet? Or not that you know of, right? We talked about that.
I've been tested twice, and like through the whole 2 years this has been going on, I've been tested twice, both times were negative. And I was a little sick in the beginning, and I was a little sick over Christmas time, and I never got tested, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I've been sick once a year like I normally am. And
Yeah.
that's it. And that's the normal, like around the same time period that I normally get sick. I usually get sick once a year. That's it. And I suck for a week. And then after that, I go on about my fucking life. And I got sick that one time during the year. I had a migraine once, which I haven't had a migraine since really my first year out of the Marine Corps. But I really think it was because I was dead tired. And I still don't think I've had COVID. I honestly don't. I don't know. Maybe I have and I just didn't realize it. But I just don't care anymore. And it's gotten
Yeah.
worse. Like we've been saying for the last like 2 years that we don't care. But when it comes to my job and stuff like that, like it's gotten worse where it's like, it's becoming Marine Corps levels of don't care, you know, where you're just like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
bro,
just all it's all
don't
stupid.
give a shit. Like, tell me whatever you want to. I'm going to shake my head and then go on about my day and
Yeah.
not even give it a second of thought.
It's like not a concern in my mind about
Mm-mm.
like I got sick, and like I mean I felt a little shitty, had kind of a cough, but I was like, this just feels like anything I've had before.
Yeah.
So like I'm not gonna go get tested. My mom's like, you should probably go get tested. I'm like, no, I just don't care. I'm like, no, Like, there's no point. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
There's no problem. I'll
I
do
go
what
in-
I always do.
I
Drink
go into a
juice
cocoon
and
in my
sleep.
room for anyways. So
Yeah. Like, I'm
it's
just
not like I'm hanging
okay.
out with people when I get sick. And if you hang out with people when you feel really shitty, like I don't know why you do that anyways. Not because you're worried about, or not because I just can't do that. Like when I feel
Yeah.
shitty, I don't want to be around anybody. So I just go and cocoon in my room or on the couch in my home.
Yeah, like that's what I'm like, and like people are like, oh, maybe you should get tested because like you don't want to bring it to work. I'm like, I feel fine enough to work, so I'm just gonna go to work. like I mean, I was sick on the days I was off, and then by the time I had to work, I mean, I wasn't like 100%, but I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah. Well, one dude had sniffles, and now we got an email about sniffles. He got written up because he had sniffles and then decided to get tested after work. Found out he was positive, so he got written up because he had sniffles, knew about him having I keep saying sniffles because in the email we all got written, it said sniffles specifically. So that's what our HR does. They write sniffles. And white women, sniffles.
Not the sniffles.
Yeah, so sniffles, if you come to work with the sniffles and decide that you need to get tested after coming to work with the sniffles and test positive for COVID-19, you could be up for termination. That's
dude,
where we're at now. That's where we're fucking at now.
dude, it's just so blown out of proportion. Like, it's not like I'm not concerned about the virus whatsoever.
No.
I'm concerned about what the fucking bullshit that they're putting through this society because of the hysteria behind this. Like, that is much more concerning. And I don't know. I'm
And
my
how
personal
many people has
experience.
that killed?
Yeah, or
Can
will
you put a number on it?
yeah.
You can't.
Also, like my personal experience, like a lot of people I know have gotten it. Some say it was really bad for them. Some say that, like, when I say really bad, like it was just a really bad cold. Like they felt like
Yeah.
shit. They felt drained. They had a bad cough. Nothing, no reason to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And that's 90% of the people. And then I've heard of other people that, like older folks, like in older folks, that when they get it and they have like 4 other things wrong with them, yeah, it can be life threatening, just like if they got the flu.
Mhm.
And that's just been my experience. And I think that's what, I mean, just from talking to people, and there's always like these weird cases that people want to bring up. They're like, oh, someone was given birth and they died during their pregnancy. And
Dude, did you see
it's
the
like
numbers on
weird shit like that happened before too. It's just now
on-
that it's freaking out. Everyone thinks COVID's the worst.
fucking I got a message, or not a message. Somebody commented on one of the posts I made, and it was that attorney talking to Ron Johnson, I think. I don't know where he's a senator out of. Oh, there it is. It's attorney Thomas Wren speaking to Senator Ron Johnson, and he was talking about the massive increase in stillborns or miscarriages or losing a child after getting the vaccine. And he was explaining to the senator that it's increased, like, I think he said the word, I don't know, it's on my Facebook if you guys want to see it, but he's explaining that it's like up 400% from a normal year. And it's like, I wonder what changed. And it wasn't the COVID. It wasn't COVID that's doing it, because it's not people that are testing positive with COVID or have tested positive with COVID. It's people that have gotten the vaccine and are 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, couple months outside of having the vaccine after being pregnant.
Yeah, there was a news coverage of, it was like a local news channel, but I saw it on Twitter, and it was like this, what is it, speech therapist for like kids, and she is, her client amount increased by like 10 times. And she thinks it's because of the mask that these kids haven't fully, kids
Oh,
being in
that's
mask all
wild.
day.
They don't get
that
to
they
see how
can't-
people's mouths move.
Yeah. So she was saying that like when toddlers learn a lot about how people speak by seeing their lips move. Like
Yeah.
that's how they
That's
learn
the only
how to
way.
talk and stuff.
That's the only way I know what people are saying, dude. I swear to God, dude, it's the worst thing. People have masks on, and I say what like 5 times a conversation now.
Oh
Like
yeah.
right after each other. They say something. What?
Yeah.
They say it again. What? What?
Yeah, maybe you should see one of these speech therapists, dude.
Well, I don't have the problem talking. Well, I have a problem talking anyways, but I don't have a problem talking. I just can't see their lips anymore. And like, I mean, you and I rely on fucking subtitles for TV shows. So
Yeah.
what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, I don't have
Yeah,
subtitles.
but-
I need people to bring like little fucking boards. So
Yeah.
whenever they say something, the fucking board puts it in captions.
But like that's what's so annoying about like the government fix for everything, because they just think about fixing the one problem. Like if they get cases to go down, that must be a good thing. If they can get this vaccine out and it does protect people from COVID, that's a good thing. But they never focus on like the ramifications of the things they do. The other things, the ripple effect. Like, yeah, okay, we're maybe masks do stop the spread of COVID. I don't really think so, but whatever. Maybe it does. But now you have kids growing up retarded. they don't know how to speak.
Well,
and
I
don't
mean,
know how to
these kids
properly communicate.
were wrecked anyways. Like these kids are not gonna
They're
make
gonna
it,
be
if
Marines
you know what
now,
I mean.
dude.
Yeah,
They're
I
gonna be
know.
Marines now.
They're gonna be Marines that stay in. That's what these kids are gonna be in. These kids are gonna be Marines that stay in the Marine Corps because they can't do anything else, and the Marine Corps will make you wear a mask for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And I don't know, but it's just so like frustrating. Like, you know, all the economy is kind of going to shit right now. It's like, oh, maybe those lockdowns and pumping out stimulus checks wasn't the best idea, bro.
But then they tell us like we're the strongest America has ever been. And
dude, that's
economy.
it's so annoying.
And it's
how they
like, bro,
keep
like
quoting these numbers from last year or the year before about how the economy has grown so much and the job numbers have increased so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, you pieces of shit. It's like you put the boot on the economy and then expect us to be happy that you took the boot off. Like that's what happened.
Just a little bit, not even all the way, just a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, dude, it's like you're the ones that shut down the country. Like this is your fault.
We have 300 million job growth in the last year, and that's because 700 million jobs were lost the year before because you said people can't work. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, and they say it, and I think the worst part for me, like I mean, you know me, and I'm pretty sure people listening to us have like realized like I'm a very like things, not that things need to be fair, but things need to be fair on the most basic. Like you should be truthful. Like I'm a very like I want people to be truthful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like get to know the whole story and then speak about it. Like I just think that's the best way to go about things, and it irks me when it's not that way. And then they say these things and they're like, yeah, we've built the most jobs than any president in history, any administration in history. And they all take credit for it, which is even funnier. They all take credit for it. But like we've brought back 200 million jobs to the United States. And it's like, yeah, but when you're equating that to the 500 million jobs that were lost because of the things that the United States government did, that means absolutely jack shit. And go fuck yourself for trying to use that as like a proponent to skyrocket your numbers. Like, I don't understand that. And it legitimately pisses me off. And I wish you could talk to some of these people face to face, because you don't get to say that, you know, the reporters now are not saying the things that the American populace once said and then asked in the question. Like none of them do, because that's an easy question. That's like that's the easiest question to ask any of these people when they bring up jobs. It's the easiest question. It's like, yeah, you say you keep touting this 200 million number, but 700 million people lost their jobs. I'm making these numbers up. 700 million people lost these jobs last year. So how can you say that you brought these jobs back when you're the ones that basically delete us these jobs in the first place. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
and go fuck yourself for even trying to say that you brought these jobs to the United States, or you got these people hired because of things that you've enacted. No, they're hired back because people started saying, fuck you, we're not doing this anymore. And people have jobs again.
Yeah. It's like, it's so frustrating because, like, I don't know, like, I feel like there's just not a lot that this Biden administration can cling on to and say like, oh, this is successful. I mean, like, there's like, I don't know, Joe Biden keeps talking, oh, we got some, Child Care Act passed, so single moms or something can get babysitters or something, and then like he just doesn't have a lot to go. He can't be like, oh, that Afghanistan thing went well. Like, we can't.
Yeah, right.
He can't even claim that as something like, hey, I pulled us out of Afghanistan. Like, I ended a war. Like, which is a great thing. And if it's something that you could, I think, would be good, but just the images of it are so bad that you can't even. You don't
I can't wait till we
connect.
pull out of the Ukraine so we can watch them flying off of the United States planes.
Yeah, dude. 20 years from now, we'll be like 40 years old watching Ukrainians falling from U.S. planes.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It irks me so bad that they can spin the statistic in their favor and don't get questioned on it. That's like the most irking thing ever. And there was one journalist that talked about the vaccines, and he was like, well, you were vaccinated and I was vaccinated and I have the booster and you had the booster and we still got sick, and all Psaki did was say, yeah, but I didn't have to go to the hospital. And it's like, bro, that's not the fucking question. Like, that's the problem. It's like, they know, even the most mentally impaired person at that point knows what the question is asking. And because it's not outright blatant in front of them, they won't answer it, and they will answer it in the most milquetoast fucking way they possibly can. And then political
way out of it.
Yeah. And then the reporter lets it go right there, and they don't do anything else after it. And it's like I think it just goes to show what Michael Malice has been saying about reporters for, the last 5 years, where he's like, these are some of the most unintelligent people you will ever meet in your life. And they're here gossiping like high school kids. And I think that's the majority of society right now. Anyways, It's like a bunch of high school kids trying to figure out their way through life. And then there's bright spots here and there. And then there's really fucking dark spots that are like, no, they still believe they're in high school and that they're at the peak of their fucking life. And they are.
Mike Cernovich, he
he's
used
good
to
about
be
that too.
Well, he used to be a journalist. I forgot where he worked for, but he talks about it all the time. It's like, most of these journalists, like, they're just dumb. Like,
and then Mike Cernovich says some crazy shit like being a cuck and how like he fucking watched his wife get fucked. And that was also the same thing as
I think that was Jack Murphy.
Well, no, Jack Murphy said the same thing, but something came out about Mike Cernovich a little bit after that, because he was talking shit about Jack Murphy, and somebody found one of his old articles from Cernovich saying something similar. And then he was all butthurt on the Twitter feed. And it's like, you guys are the weirdest fucking people ever. Like, there's a certain type of person that is drawn to this like job, this career path, I guess. And I mean, Jack Murphy's not on the same one, obviously, but like, it's just like, it's all the people that are in public media in the sense that they are big time. And it just seems like them. Like, it just seems like them that they do weird shit to do weird shit because they feel like they have to, because they're, pushed into it. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just seems to come out like one time every month. Another one goes down for doing some weird shit. And like, I'm not gonna fucking kink shame you on your cuckold. Like, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you got to do, bro. There was so many fucking people in the Marine Corps that had other dudes come and fuck their wives. It's not my fucking cup of tea, but like, you go do your shit. But then don't sit there and be like, I'm the alpha apex predator and I'm smarter than everybody else, because people are going to look at you like a fucking weird. It's not a normal thing to do. It's not a normal thing to do. I'm sorry, it's not. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's bad. It's just not a normal fucking thing to do. Go be fucking weird by yourself with your weird fucking friends. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, the fucking Jack Murphy thing was hilarious because
Dude, he was so butthurt. Him, like,
did
his
you-
big old alpha male shit, and then him calling that girl, like, I can't
You-
believe
yeah.
he just fucking brought that back up.
yeah, on you are here with
Yeah.
I think Elijah something and Sydney something. But yeah, that was very awkward. And he like it was very, very weird. And then like
He
right when the
got
show was
super
over,
butthurt.
he like stormed off the stage. But
Mhm.
like it was so funny because that like I don't know when exactly it came out, but it really picked up when people found it like right before he did that podcast. And then
Yeah.
he did it, and then the chat was trolling the shit out of him. And it was
Yeah.
funny because that girl was just
And the girl had
innocently
no
a-
idea.
Yeah,
Had
she was
no
just like
idea.
innocently asking, like, why does the chat keep calling you a cuck? Like, well, I don't understand, because she probably didn't understand.
Yeah.
And-
Didn't see the article. She didn't even know what the article was.
Yeah. And then so she asked him, then he got so butthurt. And it's like, dude, see, this is what you can't do if you're a spotlight on the internet.
Yeah.
You
You can't rail against it. You gotta ride the wave.
You gotta own up to it, or but not show emotion. You can't be fucking butthurt, because then it's gonna come back worse. Like, it's just gonna get
Well,
worse.
I mean, we've seen that in the libertarian sphere like multiple times over the last few weeks, over the last couple months. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
people have came into the spotlight about some shit that they said, and then they or didn't say about a certain subject, and then they rail against it real hard for 15-20 minutes on their Twitter, and then people just shit on them because it's like, oh, now you're being a bitch. Now you're being a bitch. Now you're being a bitch. So either you don't feel bad about what you did, but you won't come out and say that you didn't feel bad about what you did or what happened or whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
You know, so they come out real hard against it, and then a couple days later, when the proverbial post nut clarity comes in, they're like, oh, I'm sorry I reacted that way. And then people look at you even more like what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you should have, if you were going to react one way or the other, you should have reacted this way in the beginning, but you got so worked up in your own emotions. And that's also the other thing, is like, there's a lot of people that don't like people reacting to emotion, which, especially in the libertarian sphere, because the libertarian sphere is very like, oh, we're I don't think enigmatic is the right word, but like, so unemotional, I guess, would be the right word. We're about clarity and, you know,
Logical
straightforwardness, logical thinking, logical reasoning, you know. But then the people that attacked them are being just as fucking emotional about the shit as the people that come back and, you know, bite back about the people being emotional about what they said when they're being
Yeah.
emotional. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I think we kind of touched on it last week, where we're like, we're very unemotional about a lot of shit. And even when I'm talking shit to somebody on Twitter or quote tweeting them or anything like that, most of the time I'm quote tweeting and then going back to whatever the fuck my day is. And then when I look back at it and see it, I quote tweet it again, and calling people a dumb fuck or you're fucking retarded or anything like that has no emotion attached to it for me. Like, that's just like, that's not an
Yeah.
emotional reaction.
I'd say that to my friends in
Yeah.
regular conversation.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're
Or-
fucking retarded just for
Yeah.
you said
it
what
has-
about the sky? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not
just
fucking
something.
blue today. It's aqua, bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's just like the emotional attachment is there on both sides.
That's
And then both
but-
of them are getting upset about the other one getting emotional, because their emotional state says a lot more about them than it says about you. And it's
That's-
like,
yeah.
if you
that's the
just
thing
fucking
with like
talk
the
shit
Jack-
without being emotional about it.
yeah, that's the thing. Like the perfect like Jack Murphy thing is like if you don't want the internet, if your goal is to get the internet to stop talking shit about you, one, that's never gonna happen.
And second, own up to it.
yeah,
own
well,
up
and-
to it.
Oh, yeah, and then
Ride
like if
the
you want it
wave.
to at least die down, you gotta
Make jokes
just
about
like
yourself.
you either joke about it, just own up to it, or like, I don't know, just handle it better where you don't like have a breakdown, an anger spat on a live show, because then
Yeah.
that makes it look, you look way
Well,
worse.
you look bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you look way, way worse. So just like, if you would have just been like, like calmly was like, I'd rather not talk about it. Like, still probably wouldn't have gone over exactly well to the internet, but much better than him like,
Yeah,
fuck
because
you.
he said it once in that show where he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna touch on it anymore. And then she brought it up again because the chat brought it up again.
Oh, okay.
And then he was like, and fuck you for bringing that up. Like, fuck you very much, or something like that. And it was just like, all right, dude, like I get the fuck you. Like I get it. I understand the fuck you. But at the same time, like the follow on after the fuck you just made it worse for yourself. Like then it was like, fuck you, I'm an emotional bitch, I'm gonna talk about this, I'm not gonna talk about this, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? And it's just like, whatever, bro, like suck a dick. And he's the one preaching alpha maleness to fucking, a million fucking people every time he opens his goddamn mouth. And it's like, you're not an alpha male if you can't handle a situation like that.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
not.
that's like,
And like
besides
and calling yourself an alpha male automatically makes you a fucking beta, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's fucking weird. Like, you're just a fucking dude. Just be a fucking guy. Like, I'm just a fucking guy. Be a fucking guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think most of the people, most people that have like the online persona that like an alpha male, I think they're just
Yeah, they're
selling
letting their
something.
wives get railed out
Which-
by somebody else.
Yeah, that. But like, I don't know. It seemed like, I don't know, kind of after like the rise, maybe it was happening before and I wasn't paying attention, but the rise of like Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, it's like
trying
this
to,
manosphere thing.
like this manosphere that's created where there's a bunch of like kind of like our age dudes that seem like I don't know, they're like, I'm giving advice about how to be a man, and they still haven't like quite figured out everything, what it's like to be a man.
And like their biggest thing on being a man is like talk as much shit as possible to women because they don't care about you anyways. And it's like, I'm all for talking shit jokingly about everybody, but like when you're like, a lot of these guys, they don't just talk shit about women in like a jokingly way, or like, even if you can, because with every joke there's some seriousness in it, but then they just make themselves look bad because then they're simping for women on the side. It's like, all right, so are you talking shit about women, or are you just talking shit and then talking to the one like, oh baby, it's not about you, I promise. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's about
I think
these other women.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I guess if people are into it, whatever. But like, it just always seemed like a grift to me.
Yeah,
like a major grift.
Yeah. Well, nearing the end of this podcast, I want to talk about what your opinion on Stephen Breyer is, the Supreme Court justice that just retired, the left-wing Supreme Court justice that just retired. That was pretty crazy, right? That was kind of random. It came out of nowhere, especially a left-winger as he is. Like, it seemed like, why retire at this point in time? I guess it makes sense if he's really ready to retire right now, do it under an administration that would put in another lefty. I guess that would make sense. But at the same time, a lot of people were surprised because it was just super fucking random. Like, nobody knew that this was coming.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I heard that this guy was being pressured to retire for a while now. And the timing of it seems about right, because I'm assuming that the Republicans are going to take the House and the Senate this next election cycle.
Yeah, so they would fucking deny everybody that the left would put up there.
Oh yeah, they would deny, and even now it's going to be kind of hard to push another one through because the Senate's so close. I mean,
is the writing on the wall right now for the House?
Yeah, I really think that the way, I mean, I don't know. It just, from the way people talk, the way the Democrats are reacting, I think there's going to be a change in the House and the Senate, because they tried to push this
red wave.
this voting thing, and they've already picked up on this narrative that like if we don't pass this voting law, like the elections will probably be illegitimate, and they got shot down again. And now they're like, yeah, well, I guess these next elections coming up are going to be illegitimate. And they're going to play on that narrative about how they lost the House and Senate because the Republicans cheated, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's so fucking bullshit, dude. Because they just, from 2 years ago, it was the most, or I guess over whenever 2020 election for 2021, the presidential election, they made it seem like it was the most legitimate election ever happened in history.
The most illegitimate election.
And then now in 2022, they're gonna be like, oh, the Republicans cheated. They messed with the voting machines. Like, I don't know. They're gonna fucking just completely flip the script, is my assumption. And that, I think this judge stepping down for them to replace them, I think is another sign that they're gonna lose power and they're trying to get whatever fucking black woman in there that they can.
Do you think they get it done in time?
Yeah, I think they.
You think they get it done before November?
I mean, I think so, but I don't know, dude. Anything can happen. Politics.
I haven't heard of
nowadays.
I haven't heard of any replacements, and I feel like the day that what's her face died, RBG, we already had like 7 replacements for her on the Republican side. Like, I feel like that was a thing. But if Kamala Harris goes over to,
yeah, I don't know where that came from, but that seems to be
big.
a rumor on Twitter that Kamala Harris could become Supreme Court justice, which is, I don't see that happening.
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works.
Know.
It'd be interesting.
I feel like that'd be very, I don't know. It could be a way to get Kamala out and replace with maybe someone more popular that could possibly win in 2024, because I don't think either one of them two can, at least at this moment.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really feel like it's going to be a red wave. I think a lot of people are just tired of this COVID bullshit. I think they're a little over it. I mean, we saw she's kind of like outsider, but Barry Weiss on what's his name? Some late night show, Bill Maher's late night show, and she's like a progressive that left the New York Times. And
I saw that.
And she was like, "Oh, I'm done with this COVID," and like was talking to Bill Maher's progressive audience, and she got like a pretty big applause about it when she just railed against the COVID stuff and like, this needs to end. On one hand, it's like, thank God there's a progressive, pretty popular progressive that's speaking out against this. But at the same time, it's like, fuck you. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
and the way she framed it, dude, is like, I'm
the most progressive way to frame it ever.
Yes, the most progressive way is like, we didn't have the science that we had 2 years.
I did see that. I did see that interview.
I know a lot of progressives that want to speak out, but they don't want to be seen as some anti-vaxxer or Trumper.
or Trump.
And it's like, what, I understand what she's saying. She's speaking to progressives, and maybe that's what the progressives need to hear. Maybe that's the message that they need to hear so they can get on board with this idea. But at the same time, you're like, the fucking conservatives, like, they're not all good, trust me, but they were much better on this fucking thing than you guys were. They were much, much better. And there was a lot of people.
For a lot longer.
Yes, for a lot longer. I mean, you guys went after Ron DeSantis like it was like he was murdering children in the street. Like, that's how they were treating this guy. And, he was just like, yeah, we're just not going to do this lockdown thing. And it doesn't seem that crazy now. Like, everything seems fine now. But back in the height of it, I mean, he was being like ran through the ringer every day. And it's like,
yeah,
instead of, there's a better way you could have said that. You could have been like, I was wrong. My bad. But fine. It's fine.
We'll take it.
I'm glad.
Well, and that's the thing. I think the Republicans are just like, yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. It's whatever.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Well, I think most people, like, at least anyone that's like kind of paying attention politically, that's not, I guess, on the left really, is kind of like, we just want this to be done. We don't even care if somehow the progressives are like, because of our actions, we saved old people that we pushed in the nursing homes. We saved their lives. It's like, fine, go try to spin this and get your win. Let's just end this shit, dude.
Yeah. I want it to be over. I want it to be over first for just the people that have had to deal with it for so long. And second, for the people that haven't wanted to deal with it, but see it in their everyday lives on a daily basis. And then for me personally, because I think it's stupid and I don't care about it.
Yeah.
I honestly just,
And there's
like, that's my opinion about it at this point. And it's kind of sad because, like, I get it. There's people that suffer severe consequences from it. Like, I get that. But I also get the other side where, from the restrictions that they've imposed, there are people that have suffered severe consequences from it. And I understand that a lot of people are like, death is worse than anything that you can experience in the material, real world. And I don't think that's fucking true. Like, honestly, I don't think that's fucking true. I think economic ruin is probably one thing that's almost worse, if not worse than death. Watching your family around you turn on you, the people that you know, the people that you love. So it doesn't have to be necessarily blood related, but the people that you know and love turning on you on a daily basis because of your views on something that doesn't kill 99% of the population if they get infected with. That's got to be a fate worse than death. Like, there are things that are fates worse than death, and they have put people through them for no other reason than to spread their political message. And I think that's the definition of a tyrant, to do it just because you can.
I see a little bit of like some right-wing pundits, and they're like, no, we don't want to fire Fauci. We want to throw him in a cage. We want to fucking.
And that's
like,
never going to happen.
Oh, I don't think so either. But it's just nice. Like, that's honestly the kind of mentality you need to have, is like, make them scared where he resigns. You know, like, I don't know I don't think he's going to suffer any charges. I think he maybe get fired or maybe resigns. I think at some point that might happen. I think
maybe he resigns. I don't see him ever getting fired, because even Trump didn't fire him.
Yeah, I would see him stepping down at some point just because he's so hated at this point. But that'll be it. But but when, you know, a lot of the conservatives were like, I'll just fire Fauci. And now it's kind of starting to shift to, you know, this guy needs to pay. And I think that messaging will make him resign faster.
Yeah. Because then he doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about the chance. I don't think, even if he didn't resign, I don't think he would ever face charges. Or maybe he would face charges, but he would never get convicted of anything. But rather than go through it, might as well just resign, like the majority of other Americans that have done shit that has fucked over the entire populace for, 30 years.
Yeah, but I have faith. I think this COVID stuff's coming to an end at some point. Maybe not completely, but it'll definitely won't be anything like it is now.
Yeah, I hope so. I kind of see it going that way, just be the way the first month of the year has come. But I still think they got a couple tricks up in their bag, and then they're gonna let those traps fall where they lay, and they're gonna hope that it gets people to do what they want later on. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, we'll be back here every week talking about it, so you can see how our opinions change. If you want to subscribe, and no, I'm just kidding.
Review.
Go give us a comment on iTunes. I don't care if it's a 4-star, 5-star, 3-star, 1-star, 0-star. It's really funny to read the comments, so go do that. And you can find me at Keep It Real Luke on Twitter and Instagram, and our podcast at bitingthebulletpod.com. Biting the Bullet Podcast on Instagram.
Biting the
Bullet
Bullet Pod.
Biting the Bullet Pod on Instagram. And if you just type in Biting the Bullet Podcast on Twitter, you'll find us.
That's what's up, dude. At The Real Typo on Twitter, Axeroin Typo on Instagram, and that's all I got.
Yeah, that's the fucking shit show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We out.